Hi, Little Gooby here. When you think of light weapons, what comes to mind? Is it the reliable and powerful ARN, the highly aggressive M11, the notorious LH1, the pub-stomping double barrel, or the good old XP54? I feel like most of light guns have become extremely memorable, despite the sheer amount there are. All except for one gun. A gun that has never been truly under the spotlight for seasons. I'd go even as far to say since Season 1. That gun being the V9S. The V9S is a semi-automatic pistol, equipped with a suppressor. Duh! Having a generous amount of 20 shots per mag, with each bullet doing around 40 damage per shot and 60 per headshot. It has a moderately fast fire rate of 360 RPM, and only has access to 3 sights: the iron sight, compact reflector, and the quick spark. The V9S is meant to be an up-close weapon that rewards accuracy and a sneaky playstyle. Being one of the quietest guns in the game next to the bow, the V9S also has a very minimal recoil pattern that's pretty similar to the ARN, where it simply goes up and occasionally side to side slightly. The maximum range of the V9S is 15 meters. This is going to be really important later, so please do remember this. In its current state, it cannot be denied just how underwhelming it feels. Why is that? Well, before attempting to answer that question, let's look further into its history. I've never played the finals during the open beta, but I hear stories about how the V9S was the most strongest weapon in the game, and people exploiting it by making its rate of fire go faster by binding their buttons to the scroll wheel. I'll be honest, I couldn't find any correlation between that and surpassing the intended RPM. What I did find was that people did that to consistently hit the highest rate of fire without breaking their fingers. After the launch of the game, Embark was quick to make the game as balanced as possible. This was when the game experienced weekly balance updates, if anyone remembers that. The V9S was affected by the first balance change, nerfing its effective range to what we have now and dropping its bullet count from 24 to 20. Besides that, it still did 35 damage per shot and was still really good in close range. After that though, the V9S has only seen buffs from then on, getting its damage buff in 1.5, going from 35 to 36, then another damage buff at the start of Season 3, going from 36 to 37. For the majority of its lifespan, it's been untouched. But then, it happened. Oh god, where do I even start? As someone who mained this gun from Season 1 to 3, I feel like I must state that yes, the V9S had horrible range. 15 meters is really bad. But the older V9S made that up with its high rate of fire and decent damage. Strong damage, actually. I remember sitting on rooftops still being able to do really decent amount of damage out of its effective range because I was able to output so many shots. Sure, they did little damage, but the chip damage was far much better compared to the current V9S. It doesn't matter how much damage the current V9S does, because Embark left it with the same effective range with a slower RPM. For God's sake, even the M11, the close range submachine gun that's fully automatic, outranges the V9S by a whopping 2.5 meters. When making this video, I decided to see what people's thoughts were on the V9S. I'm tired of seeing people use "just hit your shots" to justify the rework. The minigun would be an S tier weapon if you could just hit every shot. The fact is, as an average player, if you really want to use the current V9S, you have to play this gun with little to no mistakes. If you want to compete against guns like the M11, LH1, or superior brother the 93R. Don't get me wrong, the V9S is still pretty good against lights, but against, medium and heavy, classes that both have weapons that can just insta-kill you within 2 shots, like the repeater and BFR, it's not fast enough. It's not good enough. The only reason why people think it's a good weapon is because of the damage, which was a crappy justification for the lowered RPM by Embark. This thing sucks at close range because it's too slow to fight against guns like the M11, double barrel, the Cerberus, repeater, BFR, and it has little to no range, so you can't use it for chip damage as well, since the RPM is just that slow. Suggested changes I keep seeing is to give it more range, which I completely disagree with simply because range was never the problem. If we buff the current V9S range, all it does is break its identity even more and making it essentially a mini LH1 that takes less skill to use because of its recoil. No. What we need is a complete reversion. I don't even want it when it had 37 damage because even back then, I thought it was way too much damage, and I still do believe that. No. What I want is specifically version 1.2. Literally the first ever change of the V9S, back when it did 35 damage per shot and had its old RPM. Another change I would suggest is to let it do 37 damage per shot, but higher its RPM to 405. Why 405? Because that's basically half of the RPM nerf that Embark went with to the current V9S. There's a reason why it was rarely touched. It's because it was fine, Embark. Every time I look at this gun, I can't help but feel disappointed and alienated because it feels like nobody else, except for a couple of cool people, even care that the V9S sucks. And if not, don't know how the V9S used to be, how great it felt to use. I feel like Luke on Steam said it best.
V9S, this thing feels like a sidearm in a game where there's no sidearms.
With that being said, thank you for watching my video. As always, tell me, am I wrong for thinking this? The answer is no. But in all seriousness, what do you think? I love reading your guys' comments, whether you agree or disagree. That's about it though. Bye bye.
Yummy.
Oh,
Ooh,
Lord
Gooby.
have mercy. Gooby on the scoreboard.
Oh, he's won. Nice. Yeah, that's a V9S clip right there. One tapped.
Ooh, nice goo.
W. Good plays.
W goo from the goob.
W. There's a
I get it with
gateway
that.
back here.
He's one. He's fucking one, and he's getting patted. Ooh, they got hit by that nade too. Nice shot. Probably gonna D-man. I'm just gonna steal. I think they were there on the right. Oh, he's there on the left. He's there on the right. I'm being sniped. Ah! Whatever. Oh my god.
I tanked a snipe for you because I ran out of heals.
Incredible.
What a play.
He wants me.